All right, here we are at the door of the Rafter J Farms Arena. Uh, that was what Dad called this place, was Rafter J Farms, Burdette Johnson, and pretty proud of him for putting all this together. But obviously, as a kid, he grew up farming, but also he was of the age where they always had horses around too, and probably, in fact, their farming began with horses until they advanced to eventually having a tractor around, but he was good with horses. And then the neighbors would send him horses to ride and train, and he got a reputation, and he, anyway, became a horse trainer as well as a farmer. So I kind of grew up doing this. All right, let's take a walk into the barn. Here we are. It's a cowboy place. Nothing fancy about this, but I like that. Anyway, we come in here and we get to work. This spot right here, one thing about this indoor arena, and again, I'll give you some more of the history about it as we walk around, but it was built in 60, which was 64 years ago now. And it's still standing. When I walk into the indoor, I'll give you, I'll kind of describe how that went up. But this part, obviously, this is my tack room. Again, you're not going to see anything fancy in here. We got too much to do to keep it fancy. So there's my bridle rack. Back behind there's my saddles and pads. And we just last year, you can see we've got some blown on insulation, a couple of heaters in here. These old tin barns, they were not warm in the winter. In fact, probably 20 degrees colder. They were an ice box. And up till a couple of years ago, this really wasn't a lot of fun out here in the winter. It had to be done, but it wasn't fun. But now we've got a spot with 5 stalls in here, a couple of spots to tie horses and saddle them up, where we can warm up a little bit. We try to keep it at 50 degrees, 50 to 55 in here, just a place to warm up, and I don't have to blow on the bits anymore. Man, I remember as a kid having to blow on those bits before you put them in a horse's mouth. And anyway, otherwise that steel would stick to their tongue. It's like sticking your tongue on a pipe. So we would, have to do a lot of things to stay warm. But now we can come in here, saddle them up, stay, get warmed up, go back out in the indoor and ride again. So anyway, like I said, we try to keep it at about 50 degrees. That's pretty easy on a day like today when it's, not terribly cold. On days when it's 50 or above, it's a whole lot easier to keep it at 50. But it's a tough challenge for those 2 little heaters when it's 20 below. But it still keeps it pretty nice in here. Anyway, there's my rope tree. I don't want everybody to think that I'm a roper, but I do like to collect ropes, obviously. We get them all rope broke. But don't send one to me for roping training. I'll miss. But we do keep a couple of dummies around, and they all know how to get rope broke, track the dummy, and yeah, I can catch it once in a while. All right, we're headed to the other end of the barn. More stalls up there.